Now let us get to understand how to differentiate between the 5th, 6th and 7th limb of yoga through a very practical example. So the 8 limbs of yoga I have never listed in the session, correct? There are 8 limbs of yoga. So what we can do is, I will just tell the English equivalents of the 5th, 6th and 7th. The Sanskrita one I will share it with you in the group. But I will say, but I'll type and send that in the group. So as we saw, each and every limb of yoga has its place in the scheme of things. Like we have various limbs of the body. So we have to keep telling ourselves that every limb is as important as the other limb. Like affirmation every day we have to tell. Okay, because in the mind we should never think they are steps and grades, because we are used to that. But here they are not steps or grades, but they are limbs. That will help us to stay grounded and feel either I have realized, I have not realized. So if I have not realized, whichever limb of yoga I am an expert doesn't matter. I am work in progress. So that level of grounding we will get if we have clarity that everything is a limb of yoga and everything has a time and place of practice. So the 5th limb of yoga is called Pratyahara. In English, we translate that as withdrawal. The 6th limb of yoga is Dharana, translated as concentration. 7th limb of yoga is Dhyana, is meditation. It's popularly said that the word Dhyana, when it traveled to China, in the Chinese language, it used to be referred as Chan, C-H-A-N. And further, when it crossed the oceans and entered Japan, the same word became Zen. The roots in the respective languages are same. This is one thing, one nugget. The second input is, today in the market, you have words like mindfulness and heartfulness being marketed very vigorously. They are all offshoots of awareness only. It's like you have Horlicks in chocolate and caramel flavor, but basically it's Horlicks only. So ask what is the source of that word. It is awareness. And that word awareness is integral part of the 5th limb of yoga, which is withdrawal. So concentration is nothing but awareness deepened. Meditation is concentration deepened. The 8th limb samadhi transcendence is the natural English word. You get into some other level. So now with a small example, let us try to understand. How many of you were mischievous in school? Ram, Sajini, Rajaji said no. Hema?
We were all very good.
Yeah. Even if you lift your hand, nobody will believe you were mischievous. Okay? But I could still believe Swati could have been mischievous. Maybe she would make others laugh and she will sit quiet and the teacher would take to task the others. That's the impression she gives me. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I was mischievous, I think, till 5th standard. Yeah. I was very naughty kid back then.
What happened after that? You changed schools?
Yeah, I changed school, I changed the environment. So then I became a little serious.
So that changed you.
Yeah.
Good. From now, you go and change everything around.
I hope
But
so.
no,
I'll be able to first change myself.
you will, you will.
Yeah.
No doubt. So how many of you have played with magnifying glass? In colloquially, we call you lens. No? Ram is laughing. Have you played with that? Yeah. You have to unmute.
Yeah, we used to burn paper, but burn a lot of other things which I don't want to say.
Yeah. Good. So that experimentation mindset only is helping you today to create these bands. Rajaji straight away said, no, I was not mischievous. When you probe deeper, his mischievous level might have been deeper, but I think so. It's okay. So, what was the process of burning a paper? Let's go back to that process. Hema, you know that example, right? So that's why I'm asking Ram. Ram, what was the process you did to burn the papers? Because Swati became serious, I don't think she might have played after 6th standard. So I'm asking you, you have played that? Okay. So if there is any discrepancy, you can add to that. Or
Focus the energy.
you just see, when you were a child, you focus and energy were not part of your vocabulary. So you tell Ram as a child what that child did with the paper and the magnifying glass.
Put it towards the sun and the paper in the right direction to get the heat and make it burn.
Okay. So during that process, how long did it take for you to heat up and burn the paper?
Pretty quickly when in a sunny day.
Yeah. So you studied in Andhra?
No, in
Bangalore? Karnataka.
No, Hospet and then Mysore.
Yeah. In Bangalore, you have to pour some kerosene and burn. The climate was like that when you were a child. Today it's different. If you're in Andhra or Tamil Nadu, 365 days, it is summer only. So Hospet is good. So when you did that, how did you hold the magnifying glass? Or how steady you are holding the magnifying glass?
Probably very steady.
Yeah.
We had the energy to hold it steady.
Yeah. So though the magnifying glass may be imported or very costly, still if we don't hold it steady, the paper will never catch fire. So all of you agree with that? So that is the key. We spoke about that sharp intellect and subtle intellect, no? When we studied with the traditionalists today. So the sharp intellect can be akin to a very good quality of magnifying glass. So the subtle intellect is that which helps you to hold, correct? So when you hold, what happens? The steadiness with which you are holding is the steadiness which your mind has to acquire when you want to practice withdrawal, concentration and meditation. Today, all of us have extremely good quality of sharp intellect, a sharp mind, an eye for details, everything we have. So when we go in that direction, sometimes maybe some of us become intolerant as well towards ourselves and others because we also inch towards perfection. See, that is the plus and minus of having a sharp and clear intellect. Is certain things you would see which you would feel why others are not seeing, that itself will create a lot of stress, correct? But the other side is the a feminine or a mother side is compassion. It's okay, hold it, that kind of an intellect is the subtle intellect. So what's happening there, when you hold the magnifying glass steady, first the rays start to converge. This is what they say, the grace is always there. Like that, the rays are always there when we want to do this convergence. So after a few seconds of convergence, you would start seeing dark yellow circle forming on the paper. Immediately it will not happen, correct? It will take some time. Even though you are holding a yellow paper also, you can still see the difference in that yellow, correct? Then you will start getting the fumes, and in one snapshot, there is a fire. If you notice, that's what happens. The same way, the ability to hold the magnifying glass steady is possible because you are able to be in a deep breathing or a steady breathing state wherein you can hold your body steady. Correct? So the asana pranayama are going to help you then. This magnifying glass is nothing but your own mind. Correct? So the object on which it's going to practice the techniques, which is predominantly relaxation or anything, the mind or whatever, the moment you start getting warm, the paper gets warm in one particular area, you know, that is actually withdrawal. And then there is concentration, like an yellow spot appears on the paper. Because that which is withdrawn through this big glass, right? One small dot only would be concentration. And if you notice the location from which fire happens, one streak it will come and then it will just burn it up. That's meditation. This occurred one day. It's not in any books. This is the way mind works. Correct, Hema? It just occurred one day when someone asked, and it just occurred, how to differentiate. Because if you go and try and study Yoga Sutras or great lectures, it's again words that cannot give you an understanding. So the steadiness required for the mind is developed through asana pranayama. Correct? So this is the key way to understand difference between when our mind is in withdrawal mode, concentration, and meditation. Remember, the mind is the same. By training, it acquires. Like the body is the same. By us practicing certain exercises, it gets toned up and whatever it is. Similarly, due to abhyasa, long-term practice, we can palpably feel these things happen.